Hello Sangha, welcome to the Abbots Address. Today is September 13th, 2015. So fall is starting to happen out here on the farm, you can see, and it's actually really great. Personally, I'm glad the hot humid weather is done. I'm much happier actually just having a little bit of cool in the air. The mosquitoes are gone, I'm not sweating all the time. The cool air is brisk and nice, but I mean I like all the weather, but I'm glad it's fall. That aside, for this Abbott's Address, I'd like to put to rest for a moment the conversations about harmony in the Sangha and talk specifically about some of the amazing things that have been happening in the Sangha here, and specifically even further about the Shoken Council and what I'm hoping for with that. So we've begun Ongo. We've had our first couple of classes. Things are doing really well. People are very engaged, and I'm very, very pleased with the vigor of practice in the Sangha and the way people are engaging. It's really very heartening and very encouraging. It's a strong Ongo in this community. We have lots of folks involved, and I can really feel it, and so can everyone else. So that's fantastic. Now, yesterday, we met those who are in the Shoken process, and for those who were there, you already know it was a very intense, very intimate, very deep day of conversation and reflection. And over that time, we crafted together a code of conduct. We crafted together the values and something of a covenant between the student and the teacher. And beautiful work. And now I'd like to ask for this. If you're on the current Shoken initiates group, if you're part of that group, we need some folks to step forward and to volunteer themselves as candidates to be elected to leadership on the Shoken Council. So what we need is a president, a vice president, and a secretary. And these folks will be the executive committee, so to say, of the Shoken Council. Anyone who's a Shoken student, or in this particular case, a Shoken initiate, you're part of the Shoken Council already. But within that Shoken Council, we need some folks who are going to step up and take responsibility to help organize and coordinate and communicate everything that needs to be organized and communicated within that group. So, job descriptions. Basically, the priests, the teachers, need a point person or people to coordinate with, to be the main folks to help bring to fruition the requests that are brought forth from the teachers. So, for example, if we say, as we have, that we need some decision about the practice robes that we've talked about, or we need some decision about the oryoki bowls, or some decision about various aspects of the Shoken Council. We need specific people who are interested in stepping up to leadership and to be accountable and to be the connective person to interface with the teachers, myself and Reverend Doan, about getting these things to happen. So if you're interested in that, then what I would like to ask you to do, we've created a closed, secret Facebook group, so to say, that's for the Shoken students. And if you're interested in that, you can either nominate yourself, or if you can think of someone else that you think would be very good for this position, you can nominate someone else. So you can nominate yourself, you can nominate someone else who's currently in the Shoken cohort. And after we have received nominations, then we'll have an election amongst the Shoken students, the Shoken initiates at this point, and they'll all decide and elect, and from that we will end up with a president, vice president, and secretary. And then those are the folks that will be, the main connectors with the teachers, and so on. Now, I should say that we have in place already a leadership council in the Sangha, and no one who's currently serving on the leadership council is eligible to be elected to leadership in the Shoken Council. They may be Shoken students and involved in the Shoken training and formation process and so on, and recognized as Shoken folks, but they're not eligible to be Shoken Council, Executive Committee, or leadership. So this means that if you're currently on the Leadership Council, no deal. You can't nominate yourself and you can't be nominated. However, you can nominate someone else. And what that means is that the leadership for this is open to other folks. And it's an elected thing. The Shoken students will decide who they want to represent them and who they want to be accountable to, and who would be the right person or people to be connected and communicating with the teachers and so on. So that's the big message for today's Abbots Address. We are really happy with the Shoken retreat day that happened this past Saturday. It was really heartening. It was a wonderful day. It was really encouraging. It was better than we could have hoped it to have been. And now the next step is, if you're in that cohort and you feel like you would like to be step up into some leadership role within this community, you can put your name forward. Or if you're in that cohort and you can feel someone who's in that cohort that you think would be really good for this, you can nominate them. And please do. Please either volunteer yourself or volunteer someone else or nominate someone else, and then we'll have elections. This will all be done online and we'll get it figured out. So we need to do this kind of quick because as you know, if you were there, there's a lot that needs to happen in a pretty quick span of time. So here we are. Time to put yourself forward, to put someone else forward, and time to step up into the practice. In other news, we had a fantastic Leadership Council meeting. This new Leadership Council is a very skilled set of folks, people with deep experience and deep openness to what's happening and a lot of wisdom to bring to bear on how to improve the Sangha and the life of the community. A lot of intelligence around how to work with the administrative aspects of our community and Sangha, and there's a lot of really, really great things, very inspiring things in the works. So you'll be hearing about them as is appropriate, but just know for now that you know, these are good folks and they're doing a good job. So that's it for today. I hope everyone's practice is well. Let's keep everything going, keep the momentum going for Ongo, and I anticipate the Abbots addresses may shift to a Monday rather than Friday publishing time. It kind of depends, but it seems right now that that's more likely than not. Thank you, everybody. Please stay involved in your practice, keep things going, and we'll see you in the Zendo.